Hey man, say man, it's your boy KJ, the host of the Broadcast Podcast, SL Sports Language, giving you the livest, latest news and information on sports and events. And I'll put it to you like this. If you disagree with what I say, you can debate me about it. If you got an opinion on what I have to say, you can debate me about it. Hold on, wait a minute. If you don't like what I say or said, debate me about it! Speaking of debate me about it, put it in the comment section. Hold on, the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. I repeat, like, comment, subscribe. So you can get your latest news and information on sports and events from your boy KJ, the host of the Broadcast Podcast SL, Sports Language. And here we go. Yo, today is going to be a nice little sweet video. Today I'm going to try to make sure I don't go like past 20 or 30 minutes or 20 minutes. But today I got a little treat for y'all, man. I got a little treat for y'all. Listen, today, man, we're going to talk about shoes. And this is going to be a great debatable topic because, man, the sneaker culture, man, just like the title, man, basketball and sneaker culture is dead. You know what I mean? NBA and sneaker culture is dead. Football, sneaker culture is dead. Athletes today don't compare to the athletes back then. You know what I mean? Like the title says, man, basketball and sneaker culture is dead, man. What can I say? And here's what I'm saying is, and I'm pretty sure if you're an 01 baby, you can relate. If you're a 90s baby, you can relate. If you are even the 80s baby, you can relate. You know what I mean? But primarily 90s and 01 babies most definitely can relate, and people who are old enough to enjoy that era. Okay, let's do facts and then let's do opinion. This is going to be majority opinion mixed in with facts, but it's going to be majority of opinion. Let's get down to the facts. When it comes to sneakers, who transcended sneakers? Okay, in terms of NBA wise and athletic wise, that's MJ. That's I wanna be like Mike. I wanna be. That's MJ all day. He transcended sneakers. From the Jordan 1s, nearly selling at least 400 shoes, which equals to at least 400 million in stock that year. Look it up, or you can watch the movie Air. It was a great movie about It was a great movie about Phil Knight and one of the executives at Nike signing with Chris Tucker signing. Chris Tucker acted in the movie, but based on a true story, signing him to a contract, and they pretty much put the whole sports division onto him. You know what I mean? And they was pretty much taking a risk. But that first year, they sold nearly at least 400 million in shoes in revenue. So Michael Jordan. The reason why the Jordan 1s, or not even the Jordan 1s, but the Jordan brand, period, is such an iconic brand because it transcended style, transcended fashion, and it transcended in terms of, you know how you always say athletes, oh, they get them a sponsorship. He transcended sponsorships to where when you get a sponsorship, you want to come as close or probably go further and beyond to what Jordan did, whether it be sneakers, clothes, anything that has to do with sponsorships. You want to be the one that transcends. But Michael Jordan, I don't think it'll never be another player to do it again in terms of transcending sneakers, because for one, he was a great player, the greatest of all time in certain people's eyes, probably mine. For two, what he did in terms of the pop culture, the way he dressed, the way the shoes emulated certain things, like certain shoes, like I think it was the Jordan 15s, which is one of my favorite Jordans. I didn't buy a pair, but they're one of my favorites in terms of the aesthetic. It emulated, I like the suits that he would wear because of the padding, the leather. But then you got the Jordan 11. It's one of the best, if not the best, basketball shoe, not for the performance, but for style. You wouldn't see too many people wear Jordan's 11 nowadays in terms of playing ball. But for style, they will wear it. And the technology back then, and yes, technology. The definition of technology is not your phone, electronics. Technology is the car that you're sitting in. Technology is the table. Technology is a certain type of matter. But that's beyond me trying to teach y'all. The technology on that shoe was so ahead of its time. Like if that shoe came out today under somebody else's name, it would still sell to a certain degree, because even though that's another thing too, when it comes to facts, my grandfather taught me this. A lot of people be buying these shoes because of the name. Some of these shoes don't be looking cool. Even when I was coming up, certain shoes, if I don't like it, I'm not gonna buy it. But because of the name, people will buy it. But that's a little, another educational point in terms of this sneaker culture in this video. Me growing up, like, the 11s was always my favorite shoe. I got my first 11s when I got the Easters, the low top. And before that, I got an emulation of the 11s. Like, it was going to be the closest thing I can buy 11s. And it was the Jordan Futures. They weren't the 11s, but they were sure close. And I remember I had not the teal ones or the baby blue ones. It was the aqua ones. It was the aqua Jordan Futures. And I remember my big sister, shout out to Tay, she was like, I gotta get those, and she eventually copped those. So, and it was cheaper, you know what I mean, compared to the Jordan Concords. Like, that's my favorite shoe. I have yet to cop those shoes. The Concords, somebody probably run up $1,000 for those, because they're the Concords. So, the Jordan Futures, they emulated the 11s. They looked like the 11s, and they was like, what, 100 or something bucks, probably, if that. I'm getting those. But back to the facts. The shoes, man, like what Jordan did, he set the standard. And you hear it all the time. It changed the economy. Like, certain shoes, they're gonna be like, big in sales. But when you have a certain shoe that changes the economy, we talking about, okay, to the point to where it's high in sales, it's high in the economy value, to where you have stores, literally, whether it be Chicago, anywhere in America. Even I think there's a store in Orlando. I think one of his sons owns it. There's literally stores, certain states in America. They just opened one in Philadelphia. They have literally stores in America. I'm gonna repeat, dedicated to just Jumpman. Let me repeat that one more time. You have stores in America to the point that it changed the economy. The shoe that started in 1984, literally, are just dedicated to the Jumpman. No LeBrons, no KDs. Even though Jordan is Nike, don't get it construed. Jordan is Nike, but literally to a point to where certain stores, it's just Jordans. You want to go there for LeBrons, you got to go to Foot Locker. You want to go there for KDs, go to Champs. That's how iconic this shoe is. And what Jordan did as an NBA athlete for the sneaker brand, he's the standard. He's, in a sense, the first one to transcend. Because before that, another history, another fact, it was, and I'm trying not to make this video long, but I'm so excited. Like, if you know, back before Nike was popping, it was Run DMC. That's where, okay, this is where I get into sneaker culture, period. Because this whole video is about, the sneaker culture, or just basketball sneakers, and the basketball sneaker culture and the NBA sneaker culture just being completely dead. Like, it flatlined. It's up and down, but to me, it flatlined based on the era that I grew up in, that these kids ain't gonna know about, that my nephews may not know about, or experience, in a sense. Not know about, because you can know the history, but experience. Growing up, like, back in those times, like, when you think about the 80s, it was Run DMC, Whose House? Run's House. Like, the Run DMCs, and they were Lucy, or they didn't have no laces at all. Then, it was, when you go to the NBA, it was the Converse. They were the sneaker shoe. They was the league shoe at that time. Converse. And from Chuck Taylor's to making an actual sneaker shoe, you had Mark McGuire. You had Larry Bird, who was the MVP. Magic Johnson, who was the MVP. So it was that, right? And back in those times, it wasn't unique. Here's why I say this. The reason why Converse was popping at that time was because you had all-stars literally wearing the shoes. But in terms of the shoes being cool, when you think about these brands, they're dedicated to the kids. So the kids were going to wear them because, hey, Larry Bird is wearing them. Magic Johnson is wearing them. But they weren't unique. Those shoes didn't come in different colors. Those shoes didn't come in different styles. They came in the Boston Celtics colors, Lakers colors, or whatever the athlete who was signed to colors. The athlete didn't really have control over the shoe and how they wanted to look at that time. I could be wrong, but based on commercials, based on documentaries, based on the shoe, based on the movie starring Michael Jordan and his life story, Air, they weren't being creative. It was, you sign your name on this contract. Hey, you're a sponsorship. Hey, you gravitate and your certain market or your certain demographic is to the kids or African American, hey, as long as your name and you align with the sponsorship, let us worry about the design of the shoe. Cool. It's gonna sell out anyway because, hey, my favorite celebrity, my favorite ball player is wearing those shoes. Michael Jordan changed that because the silhouette was different. And then he definitely changed that because it was the Jordan 1s, the Jordan 2s, it became a series. Now, fast forward, LeBron's, KD's, Kobe's. Kobe when he was with the Adidas. AI, Allen Iverson, y'all forget. Reebok was up top at one point. Was they number one in the sense? No, but Reebok was on the come up in terms of, if it was Nike up here, number one year, or if it was Adidas, number one year, it was Reebok climbing their way through like, hey, we up here too. Don't forget. But Reebok was never really number one, not in terms of like basketball. Maybe they probably in tennis or other things, or the common shoe, but not in terms of basketball. Then like you fall behind Reebok, New Balances, and things like that. And you got to remember too, Reebok had Shaquille O'Neal. Reebok had Shawn Kemp, Kamikaze. Shout out to the West Coast. Shout out to Seattle. Reebok also had Glenn Robinson, the big dog, Milwaukee Bucks. So that's that history of the shoes. Because then you got to think about too, when LeBron James came in, he was the second coming. He was the chosen one. Michael Jordan was heir. LeBron James was the chosen one. In between, see how I'm getting y'all with the facts? In between, see, you gotta be 90s babies and 2000s babies to know this. In between, it was, it was Penny Hardaway, and it was, what's his name? Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen had the up tempos, which surprisingly in a recent interview, he said he was supposed to have the phone pauses, but something didn't fall through. It went to Penny. Then you had Penny Hardaway, Anthony Penny Hardaway. Orlando Magic, he had the phone posits. All right. And then later on, LeBron came in, LeBron 1s, LeBron 2s, LeBron 3s, LeBron 4s, etc. Then KD came in. Then Kobe came in. It was at one point, and if you want to look it up, I think ESPN reported it. There was a time to where shoes hit their peak. And we're talking about the KD, LeBron, and Kobe era. You had the LeBron 8s through 9s through 10s through 11s through 12s and 13 is when they hit their peak. You had the Kobe 8, 9, 10s, 11, 12s. Or I would say 8, 9, and 10s. Because after the 10s, wasn't really nobody talking about Kobe's. And I don't think he made a series beyond the 10s. Maybe Kobe 11s, but beyond that, no. Then KD 7s. No. Based on the video that the ESPN made on the peak shoe era, they said it was the KD 4s. But KD 4s wasn't it to me. But it was the KD 6s, KD 7s, KD 8s. I had the KD 7s and the KD 8s. The KD 6s was like number one. It's KD 6s number one and KD 7s. The KD 6s was a problem, bro. You had the peanut butter jellies. You had the OKC colorways and you had the other colorways, but the peanut butter jellies back in the day too, and that's when I'm gonna head into opinion soon. Back in the day, when you had shoes, and I'm talking about my day, I'm not talking about the Jordans or the Reeboks or those eras or the Shaq Attacks. I'm talking about my day. If you a 01 baby, this is only for the 2000s babies. Back in my day, when you reach the 2010s, from 2013 to 14 to 15 to 16, before designer and Gucci this and Gucci that and Louis this and Louis that and Moncler this, before the Playboy Cardis and what's the other rapper name? Not Smoke Perk. It was his man, Lil Pump and them start bringing in high fashion designer and Goyard. High fashion was not really it for real. The most high fashion was True Religion. Didn't nobody care if you had Gucci on. And I'm speaking from my era and my mindset. And I'm from Dade County. I don't know if it was from anywhere else. But back in, like I said, the 2010s and the mid to late 2010s, like I'm about to cry talking about this because it was so good. Back in the day, All you needed was either LeBron's, KD's, or Kobe's, the Nike Elite socks, or for me it was the Stan socks with the vibrant colorway. But the Nike Elite socks with your Nike shoes, all you needed was some khaki pants or True Religion jeans with probably Ferragamo belt and a button-up polo, and you was straight. Back when I was coming up, all you needed was, whether it be LeBron's, like when I was coming up, I would have my KD 7s. I remember I had the OKC versions of the Purple Thunders with my khaki shorts and my uniform shirt. That's all I needed. Or my joggers. That's when joggers first started coming up. With khaki joggers with a uniform shirt. And if I didn't want the uniform shirt to show, I have on a hoodie that'll match my kicks. Bro, you was good money. You was the man that day. Like, for anybody that was able to cop shoes, copping shoes, and if you was like, some people did what they had to do, which I wouldn't promote, if you know what I'm trying to say, to get sneaks, you know, I wouldn't promote that. Some people was doing illegal things, you know what I mean? Like, you had stories like that, but you had some people that was blessed, and you had some people that wasn't blessed, and you had some people, the income tax. I remember growing up, they was like, oh, you must be got your income tax, huh? Your mom and them, because look at your shoes. Or I remember growing up, y'all know the saying, the only time certain people would be able to have shoes was either back to school, Christmas, and that was it. Some people was only back to school, and they had to only pick one pair, and they had to be all black because they know they was going to dirty up the shoe. Now, coming up, I was blessed and fortunate to have a mom, and I want to give a shout out to my mom to get shoes. A little bit backstory on me. Growing up, when I went to Dade County, Lily C. Evans, Miami Stand Up, Liberty City, I remember before I got into shoe culture, I was not on shoes. All I cared about was playing video games, the Wii Stick, trying to make good grades, which I didn't really make the best growing up, but that don't mean I'm dumb. The light bulb ain't come on yet, as my mom would say. Growing up, like I used to wear like I had this one pair of Jordan, but it was the generic, it was the flights. Like, it wasn't the series. Then like I would wear back to shoe schools. I would have like on Hyper Dunks. Y'all remember that shoe? Y'all remember that era, the Hyper Dunks? And that was it. And I would wear that for the whole year. I remember one time my shoes started talking. Like, it would have a hole in the bottom, and my mom put duct tape on them. But I still didn't care because my mom wasn't on shoes. I didn't know about no shoes. As soon as I got the Lily C. Evans, it was that 2013, 2014 year. Or not even before that. The 2012, 2013 year, I'm seeing KDs, I'm seeing Jumpmans, I'm seeing people wait in line for the Jordan Grapes, the white ones before they put out the black ones. I'm seeing people wait in line. This is when they had 23 is back. That's when they would show every retro Jumpman that would come out in the day. I'm seeing lines of people. I remember my mom had to go to the flea market for like a back to school, for like uniform. I'm seeing lines of people for some J's. I didn't understand it. That's when you had the raffle tickets and they had your size on it. So you had to wait in line. So hey, who's your size? Oh, this is my size. You would get the shoes. I remember like, bro, the LeBron South Beaches. Shout out to Tay. People was getting robbed for those shoes. The Foamposite Galaxies, Asteroids. Like, people like, yo, you gonna have to get that up. Like, my mom used to always, when she used to buy me shoes, she would tell me, if somebody try to rob you or steal you, just give it up. Give it up. That's how the shoe culture was back then. Like, these days, not to say it's not gonna happen, but these days, like, you don't, which is a good thing, but the sneaker culture is so dead. You don't hear people trying to rob people for shoes or trying to like wait in line for shoes or stake out anymore. Like, it's not that type of timing. So the sneaker culture is not the same anymore. Like,